Ever wondered how repetitive tasks are handled in programming? Well, the answer lies in a concept we call loops. These are a fundamental part of programming, providing a way to automate repetitive tasks. Without loops, a programmer would have to write out every single iteration of a task manually, which is as tedious as it sounds. In the world of programming, we have a variety of loops to choose from, each with its unique strengths and use cases. Today we're going to focus on a particularly powerful loop that Python offers, the for loop. So what is a for loop? In essence, a for loop is a control flow statement that allows code to be executed repeatedly. It works on a sequence, such as a list, a string, or a range of numbers. The for loop iterates over this sequence, executing a block of code for each element in that sequence. The syntax of a for loop is quite straightforward. First, we write the keyword for, followed by a variable name that will hold the current element of the sequence. Then, we use the keyword in and specify the sequence we want to iterate over. Finally, we close the line with a colon, and beneath it, we write the block of code that we want to execute for each iteration. Imagine, for example, we want to print the numbers 1 to 5. Instead of writing 5 separate print statements, we can use a for loop to automate this process. We would write for I in range 1, 6, and then beneath that, print I. When run, this for loop would print the numbers 1 through 5, each on a new line. So there you have it. That's the basic concept of a for loop. It's a powerful tool that can simplify and streamline your code, making it easier to read and maintain. But what else can we do with it? Stay tuned to find out more. Now that you know the basics of for loop, let's delve a bit deeper. Python's for loop is a workhorse that can iterate over different types of data, not just numerical ranges. Let's consider a few examples. First, let's talk about lists. Lists in Python can contain any type and any amount of data. Let's say we have a list of favorite fruits, and we want to print each fruit. Here's how you can do it. On running this code, you would see the name of each fruit printed on a new line. The for loop simply iterates over each item in the list. But what about strings? Yes, for loops can iterate over strings too. If you have a string, say Python, and you want to print each letter, you can use a for loop like this. Each character in the string Python is printed on a separate line. Now let's tackle dictionaries. Dictionaries in Python are a collection of key value pairs. To iterate over a dictionary using a for loop, we can use the items function like so. This code prints each student's name along with their grade. One thing to note here is the importance of indentation in Python loops. Python relies on whitespace indentation to define scope in the code, unlike other programming languages that use braces. So make sure you have your indents right, or else your code might not run as expected. As you see, for loop is quite versatile. But we can add another layer of functionality with else. Did you know that for loop in Python can be coupled with an else statement? Now, this might seem a bit unusual if you're coming from other programming languages where else is typically associated with if statements. But in Python, else has a broader role to play. So what exactly is this else doing in a for loop? Well, it's quite simple. The else statement in a for loop is used to specify a block of code that should be executed once the loop has finished executing. In other words, it's a bit like saying once you've finished doing this, do that. Let's illustrate this with an example. Suppose we have a list of numbers and we want to check if the number 10 is in that list. We could set up a for loop to go through each number, and if we find 10, we print a message. But what if 10 isn't in the list? We could use an else statement to handle this situation. Here's how it might look in Python. In this example, the for loop goes through each number in the list. If it finds the number 10, it prints found it and breaks out of the loop. If it goes through the entire list without finding 10, it executes the else block and prints it's not here. This is a very useful feature of Python's for loop. It allows us to handle both the case where we find what we're looking for and the case where we don't, all in a neat and tidy way. So the else statement adds a nice finishing touch to our for loop. But how does it behave with break statements? Stay tuned to find out in our next segment. What happens when we introduce break statements into our for loop with else? This is where things get a little more interesting. Let's dive in. Break statements are like the wild cards of the programming world. They can change the course of your program in a snap. In the context of a for loop with an else clause, they bring an intriguing twist to the table. When we use a break statement in a for loop, it immediately halts the loop's execution and transfers control to the next executable code line after the loop. Now, what happens when we have an else clause following our loop? Well, the else clause is designed to run after the loop has exhausted all iterations. But here's the catch. If the loop is terminated by a break statement, the else clause is completely ignored. That's right, it won't execute at all. Let's visualize this with a simple example. Imagine we have a for loop that iterates over a list of numbers, and we're searching for a specific number. If we find the number, we use a break statement to exit the loop. The else clause following the loop is a message saying that we didn't find the number. If we do find the number and break the loop, that else message will never be displayed because the break statement bypasses it. This might seem counterintuitive at first, especially if you're used to seeing else paired with if statements. However, remember that in the context of loops, else behaves a bit differently. It's more of a no-break clause, executing only when the loop completes all iterations without encountering a break. So, when you're designing your loops, keep this in mind. If you have critical code in your else clause that must run regardless of whether a break is encountered, you might need to rethink your design. That's how break statements change the game. Let's summarize what we've learned. We've covered quite a bit of ground today, haven't we? Let's take a moment to reflect on the key concepts we've delved into. We started off with the basics, introducing the concept of the for loop in Python. This handy tool allows us to iterate over a sequence, be it a list, a tuple, a dictionary, a set, or even a string. It's like a digital bulldozer clearing a path through our data and helping us manipulate and understand it in new ways. We then ventured deeper into the for loop, exploring how it interacts with different data types. We discovered that whether you're dealing with a string of characters or a list of numbers, the for loop can handle it all. It's like a chameleon, adapting to whatever environment you place it in. Our journey then led us to the else statement within the for loop. This was a bit of a twist, wasn't it? We saw how the else clause executes after the for loop has exhausted the iterable or if the for loop is empty. But and this is a big but, it does not execute if the for loop is terminated by a break statement. It's like a safety net, catching any items that might have slipped through our for loop. Speaking of break statements, we also examined their role in our for loop journey. We found that they can abruptly stop the loop, preventing the else clause from executing. It's like the emergency exit on a plane, providing a swift escape route when needed. And with that, we conclude our journey through for loop and else in Python. Keep practicing and you'll master these concepts in no time.